All right, let's get this party started. All right, hopefully you do have a device, a Garmin or something that's going to show you what you need. I'm going to turn my computer on and my timer. So those of you that are new, we are going to, right now, I want you to be sitting in your small ring. In the front of your bike, you have 2 rings. You might have 1, or you could have 3. So if you have 2 rings, you want to be in the smaller of those 2 rings, which is called your small ring. If you have a single ring, you don't need to go anywhere. If you have a triple, which means 3, you want to be in that middle chain ring. In the back, I want you literally to be in the easiest gear that you have. I know this might feel a little weird. For some of you, you might be bouncing a little bit, but I want you to start to learn how to control your effort. So that means getting your body in the right position, making sure that you're pedaling circles, not squares, and just getting light on your feet so that those pedals can go around smoothly. Don't try to go faster than the gear will allow. You start to bounce, just back off a little bit. Know that this part right here, it's the warm-up. So that means you're literally just getting the body moving. You don't need to go fast. You'll get enough of that in the main set. So just find yourself getting into a nice rhythm here. If you follow my legs and you don't have a cadence sensor, right now I'm going at 90 cadence. So that's going to be your kind of goal cadence. That 90 is going to be a constant. You're going to hear it from me over and over and over again about 90 cadence and how great it is. The beautiful part about being on a trainer, especially in the winter, as we move into the winter, is we can really work on our leg speed. So you're just going to keep on rolling. So tonight, I've called this workout Back Together Again. Seems like summer went fast, but I know we had some good adventures. I'm sure you had too. That's through these weeks. Somebody has a great story to tell about something that they did over the summer, let me know. We always kind of have a little recap at the end. If you want to tell a story about your summer adventure, let me know. I'll be happy to open up the floor to you. Or when we're getting started in the next session, you can always use that time to talk about stuff like that. So I was hoping that tonight, this storm didn't create all kinds of havoc. I did have one person call me, tell me that she lost her power. She was going to be a new person to the sessions. She was super bummed that she wasn't going to be able to make it. So, as I said in my email, we will be doing these sessions every Tuesday, 7 o'clock, from now until the end of December. We'll probably take a week or so. We'll see how the calendar lays out for the holidays. And then we'll come back after the first of the year. Maybe we'll have, I'll tell you more about January 1 as that date gets closer. Just keep that in mind. And after the new year, I will probably move to 2 sessions a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and that will give you guys at least another chance to get in some additional work during the week. All right, so we're finishing up our 5 or 10 minutes, or maybe 15 if you got on early, of just warming up the body. So we're going to go into a 5-minute opener. During that opener section, this is going to open up the legs. You're going to use your gears to kind of force yourself to go a little harder than maybe you like. So we're going to start with, it's a 45-second ladder, which means that every 15 seconds, it's going to get a little harder. And you're going to spin the legs, try to hold the same cadence as possible. So for the first, you're going to stay right where you are for 15 seconds, and I'll count it down when we're going to start. You're going to give me the highest cadence possible. If you're bouncing, I want you to just back it down a little bit. Then after 15 seconds, you're going to shift to 2 harder gears, keeping that cadence nice and high for another 15 seconds. Then you're going to shift to 2 harder gears and go another 15 seconds. Then you're going to have 15 seconds of easy back at the top of the cassette. So go ahead, you should be there at the top of your cassette in your small ring. 3, 2, 1. Give me the highest cadence you can hold. If you're holding your abs in, using your core to get your leg speed to stay consistent. Shifting down, 2 harder gears, keeping that cadence high. If you're over 100, that's where you should be. And again, 2 harder gears, keeping that cadence up. Working that gear. The legs are burning. You're doing it right. 3, 2, 1. Back up to the top of the cassette. Settle in. That's the first minute down. We have 4 more of those. Here we go. Picking up the cadence. Highest you can hold for 15 seconds. Shifting 2 harder gears. Keeping that cadence high. Two harder gears. Come on now, hold on to it. You're going to want to turn on your fan now. 3, 2, 1. Back up to the top of your cassette. 2 of those down. The legs are starting to get warmed up now. If you're sweating, breathing heavy, that's what we want. Here we go. 3, 2. Bring up that cadence. I'm at 120. You can hold that. Match my leg speed. 2 harder gears. Come on. Keep that cadence high. I only dropped to 117. 2 harder gears. Keep it going. Big spin. Hold that core tight. 3, 2, 1. Nice and easy. 3 down. 2 more of these to go. So when I talk about holding your core, you want to almost think about taking a deep breath. 3, 2, let's go. When you take a deep breath, it gets you taller. When you get taller, you turn your hips. 2 harder gears. Let's keep it going. Don't stop yet. You'll get some break after the warm-up. 2 harder gears. Let's go. It's only 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Back to the top of that cassette. One more to go. Woo! Feeling the body warmed up now. All right, last one. Picking up the cadence. I'm getting to 120 again. Try to make each one the same as what you've seen previously. Shifting down, 2 harder gears. Keep the legs spinning. Feet are flat. 2 harder gears. Last 15 seconds. Feeling strong now. 3, 2, 1. Right back up to the top of that cassette. Nice and easy. Take a drink. Okay, so now you know the deal. When it's time to go hard, allow yourself to do that. When it's time to go easy and recover, let yourself go easy. Don't try to be a hero here. We want you to recover so that when you do the efforts that count, that you can do them at the best of your ability. So this next one that we're going to move into, you're going to get another minute to just spin out the legs. So let that happen. The next effort, it's going to be 10 minutes long. Now, those of you that haven't worked with cadence, when you work with a high cadence, you're also developing your cardio system. So you may notice in this next effort that your heart rate is going to get high. That's okay, because we're going to have a lot of weeks to develop that cardio system. But we also want to develop your leg speed, because leg speed is king and queen. If you can keep your legs spinning without being in too hard of a gear, you can save those legs for the duration of your ride. So this next effort, it's going to be 1 minute of cadence at 100 and 1 minute easy. So I'm going to give you a gear suggestion. If you're not holding 100 cadence, then you can go to a different gear. But I'm going to give you a suggestion of a gear that's going to be relatively easy. So know that. To hold a high cadence doesn't necessarily mean you have to be in a hard gear, because it's not going to happen. But if you go to too easy of a gear, it might not happen there either. So if you don't have a cadence sensor, what we'll do is you're going to match my leg speed. And along the way, we may do a count just to see where you are in terms of your cadence. So I want you to find in your cassette in the back, most people have at the top what's called a 25, maybe a 28. And that means the number of teeth in that cog. I want you to go down to, it normally goes 28, 25, 23, 21. I want you to go, if you have a 25, 1 gear harder. If you have a 28, you'll go to 2 gears harder, staying in your small ring in the front. We're going to do 1 minute at 100 cadence and 1 minute easy. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. This is about finding that leg speed. If you need a little bit of an extra gear, just to be able to hold right at 100, then you may do that. I don't want you going over 105. So I'm at 103 right now. So you can see where my legs are, how quickly they're moving. And they're nice and smooth. Even pedal strokes, nice flat feet, and light in my feet. Arms. Nobody's got straight arms. What does it do? Pushes your shoulders up, squeezes your diaphragm. Get a little bend in those elbows. Find a place on your deck, in your hoods, or just on the corners that you feel comfortable with. Shift to that easiest gear in your cassette, all the way up to the top, and spin at what feels comfortable here. So for this next 1 minute high cadence effort, I want you to go to that same gear you were in, but this next time I want you to give yourself one harder gear than what you've selected. See if you can hold that 100 cadence. If you can't, then go back to your original gearing. Part of today, we're not going to go super hard, because for a lot of you, raise your hand if you've been on your trainer in the last month. All right, not too many. So the body has to get used to being on the trainer. All right, so shift down to whatever gear you were in last time, right back to 100 cadence. Let's go. Nice, solid effort. Smooth with the pedal cadence. And find yourself, I'd rather that you look at the screen than put your head down. Because who rides like this? No one. Your neck needs to also develop the ability to hold up your 25-pound head. So keep that cadence high. Make sure you're feeling the pedal strokes being even. If you listen to your bike, it will tell you if you're going evenly or not. If it's going then you may be pushing. Back up to the top of your cassette. Recover for a minute. Remember, this is a 10-minute effort. 5 of these are at a high cadence. So you're going to start noticing the effects of this 10-minute effort. The first 3 might not feel so hard. Then as you get into the later ones, that's when you start noticing the difference. And I want you to allow yourself to just breathe naturally. Some people may have a tendency to push the air out or pull the air in. Have your mouth slightly open and let yourself just breathe naturally. Find that gear, back to that 100 with a little bit of effort to it. This isn't an easy effort. Make yourself work for that 100. If you're at 99 and you have a cadence sensor, then you're in the right gear. And remember, you should drink that entire bottle by the end of this workout. Hydration is key. Did you drink enough today to help you get through the workout? So what you do during the week affects what you do on days you're working out. Back to even. 1 minute easy. Take a drink. We're at the midway point. I have to admit, this coming year, I'm going to have to get my creative juices going, because I think I've used up all the workouts that I had in my library in the last 2 years. So everything you see this year is going to be new. I don't know about improved, but it's going to be new. So it'll be lots of nice, good, fun stuff. And ultimately, we'll start talking about using heart rate and power to get you through some efforts. And we'll get a census of who has such data. All right, find that gear again. Let's go. 1 minute, right at 100 cadence. No higher, no lower. Follow my legs if you need to. I'm going to show you in 10 seconds how to count for yourself, your cadence. For 30 seconds, hold your hand up to your knee. Go. 1, 2. Just keep counting. Easy gear. So I got 50. 50 times my knee came up in 30 seconds. Multiply that by 2. That gives me 100 cadence per a minute. So that's the way you can determine, if you don't have a cadence sensor, what your cadence is. You can do it for 15 seconds. Then you got to multiply it by more, but doing 30 seconds is easy. Just double it. Know you're right on track. All right, we're coming up to the 8th minute. You should be sweating. If you're not working hard enough. All right, here we go. Find that gear. 3, 2, 1, right back to 100. Feel yourself sitting on your saddle, nice and solidly. If you're scooching forward or scooching back or changing your position on the saddle constantly, then that may be an indicator that you might not have the right saddle. So really pay attention. Your saddle is one of the most important pieces of equipment on your bike. Starting to feel the effects of these. That's okay. That's what we want. 5, 3, 2, 1. Right back up to the top. Good job. Going to get a minute easy. And then we're going to get another minute in between. And then we're going to move on to a different set. So 5 high cadence. Now we're going to do the reverse in a way. We're going to work on some strength work. So I want you to see the extremes. Your legs shouldn't feel so bad right now because you were going at a high cadence at a relatively easy gear. Now we're going to get you to work a little bit harder. That's going to test your strength, but I want you to also see that if you had to stay at the gear and the effort level that we're going to do for the next efforts, and you're doing, let's say, a 50-mile ride, more than likely you're probably not going to be able to sustain that effort. So it's all about finding the right gearing, the right cadence for the duration of the ride you're doing. Cycling is about longevity. If you go too hard at the beginning, you're not going to make it to the end. All right, so the next one's going to look very similar. 1 minute on, 1 minute off. But for this one, your cadence is only going to be 60, which means that you're going to be shifting to your big ring. You don't have to go there yet. But you have a triple in the front. The biggest of those rings is called your big ring. If you have 2 chain rings, same thing. If you have 1 chain ring, then you're going to have to use your gears in the back to get you to the proper cadence. So you're in your easiest gear right now. And I'm going to have you shift to your big ring. But I don't want you to shift yet, because if you're going to shift to the big ring, you need to make some adjustments in the back to make that shift a little easier on your bike. So I want you to shift down 2 harder gears, maybe even 3. And then your left hand, if you have Shimano, the whole entire shifter is going to put you up into your big ring. Go ahead and go there. Now I want you to find a gear that's going to put you at about 60. Let me get myself there. It should feel slow. I'm at 62. I'm going to go 1 harder gear. I'm around my 15. For those of you that know your gears, we're going to go 1 minute. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Now is where you really have to use the benefit of having clipless pedals. Use the full pedal stroke, using that upward part of the pedal stroke to get your foot up and over the top of that stroke. Feel the fact that your muscles work a lot different for this than they do when you're doing high cadence work. The heart rate might not work as much, but the muscles are doing all the working. I want you to shift down to your small ring, back up to that easiest gear. Allow the legs to spin out. 1 minute easy, then right back to 60. So remember what gear you're in that big ring. Take a drink. You're almost 30 minutes into this workout. Do you have half of your water bottle consumed? Got to think of it that way. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. If you're riding outside, you should be consuming at least 1 bottle an hour. And that bottle should have some electrolytes in it too, if you're going for a long ride. And even if you're doing 25. So shifting down 2 or 3 harder gears, up to that big ring. Find a gear that keeps you at 60. Let's go. Now is when you really need to use your core. Hold that core tight to get those legs moving. Keep it going. Try to keep your upper body nice and still. You shouldn't be doing this. It's all about from your hips down. That's where the power lays. Going to feel a nice rhythm about this one. You're pedaling evenly. 3, 2, down to your small ring, up to that easy gear. Spin it out. Woo, it feels so good to spin. That's the best part when you're doing low cadence work in the big ring. So it's been interesting, those of you that know gearing, looking at kind of the new gear ratios that are coming out for some gravel groupos, group sets, and even the 12-speed. Now the 12-speed is a big thing. They're starting to change the rings and how many teeth they have in the front, which is really interesting. All right, shifting down, 2 to 3 harder, up to that big ring, then to that gear that you've been using to hold you at 60. Let's go. Find your feet to be light inside your shoes. This is when you also start to notice if you have a dominant leg. You'll feel that leg pushing instead of being light. 3, 2, down to that small ring, up to the top of that cassette. Halfway. Woo! The legs are feeling it. So the hard part about getting back into using a trainer is it's so stagnant. You never stop pedaling. You don't get to coast. Therefore, the body's constantly working. So don't be surprised if tomorrow you're feeling these efforts a little bit. That's okay. Because as we move through, each time you'll get a little bit stronger. You'll start to know your bike a little bit more. You'll definitely get to know your gears. All right, 2 harder gears up to that big ring. And then down to whatever gear held you at 60. Let's go. 1 minute. Feel strong here. Everybody looks really solid. I love the fact how solid everybody's looking. Nobody's shoulders are rolling. Everybody's sitting up nice and tall, keeping that little bend in the elbows. Looking forward. Most of you guys have me kind of right in front of you. That's a good place to put your camera, your phone, whatever. And if you don't have the room, down to your small ring, up that easy gear. Of course, when I talk, everybody loves that because then the effort goes faster. So if you can move your camera so that I'm in front of you instead of next to you, that would be better for you to start to get to know where your head should be when you're on the bike. I know sometimes there's room constraints when you get in a basement or a garage tucked in the corner or the old baby's room. I used to do this in our living room, and then my nephew stayed with us for a while, and it just made it easier to come up in my office. All right, 2 harder gears. Up to that big ring. Last one, let's go. Make this one the best one. Back to 60. Find that gear. Work on even. Work on making this one the best effort, the most consistent. The cadence shouldn't be jumping around. It should be nice and solid. Hard to believe how fast this is going already. 40 minutes in. Three, two, one. Small ring. Up to that easy gear. Take a drink. Spin it out. All right. Love it. I love the fact that everybody's still on the screen. Nobody's left early. I think that means you're going to stay for the whole workout. I like it. All right. You're now in your rest period, so go easy. Because this next one, really going to force the issue. It's going to be 15 seconds of high cadence and 15 seconds of easy. But I'm going to challenge you a little bit here. I'm going to have you get in a gear that's going to hold you around 95 cadence, or 15 seconds worth of whatever you can sustain. So whatever metric you can use when you do the first one. Say you have speed. You have speed and your speedometer says you're going 17 miles an hour during that 15-second effort. Each one of the 15 seconds, I want you to go right back to that mile per hour. So this is going to be 5 minutes worth. So find that perfect place. You can either go big ring and an easy gear, or you can go small ring, maybe near the middle of your cassette. So find the gear that you think is going to work for you. I want 15 seconds, as hard as you can go, at the highest cadence possible. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Come on. If you have power, try to find sprinting power here. 3, 2, 1. You can either stay in the same gear and just spin the legs lightly, or you can shift to an easier gear. Let's go. Let's keep this going. 3, 2, 15 seconds hard. Concentrate. Feel the leg speed. And easy. Bring the legs down. It's good to hold the same gear and just go from hard to easy. 3, 2, 1. 1 minute down. Come on. Work it. Fast legs, fast legs, fast legs. 3, 2, easy. Spin them. Here we go. 3, 2, let's go. Bring it up. I'm at almost 120 cadence. Three, two, nice and easy. Coming up to 2 minutes. Woo! Making you guys work this first workout. 3, 2, let's go. Consistency, that's what we're looking for. Each one should look the same. 3, 2, nice and easy. Almost done with the workout. 3, 2, let's go. Find yourself getting tall. Get that leg speed going. 3, 2, nice and easy. Coming up on 3 minutes. 2 to go. Make these last 2 minutes your best minutes. Because you know the motto. This is when it counts. Let's go. Solid. Solid 15 seconds. 3, 2. Nice and easy. All right, now. Let's go. Picking it up. 3, 2. Coming up to 4. 1 more minute to go. And then we'll cool down. And you're done for the night. Wow, that went fast, right? 3, 2. 2 more efforts. Make them your best. Let's go. 3, 2, easy. Easy. Make the last one really count. Maybe give yourself 1 or 2 harder gears. 3, 2, let's go. Come on, last 15 seconds. What do you got? What do you got left? 3, 2. Find an easy gear. Spin it out. Take a drink. You should almost be done with your water right now. So for this last cool down section, I want you to find a gear. Hopefully it's your easiest gear at the top of your cassette. And I want you to feel like your legs are going around and you have like a 45-pound flywheel, like a spin class, just pulling them around. I don't want you to put any effort into this. I want it just to be nice and smooth. Just spin the legs. Let the muscles start to recover. So don't have them working. This is going to help to teach you how to get light feet, which will help you to have a better cadence. And in the long run, it will teach you how to get light when you're, say, in a pace line. So what's the purpose of a pace line? To give every person in the pace line a chance to recover. So if you're the third person from the front, you should be doing very little work. But if you have yourself in too hard of a gear and you're pushing too hard on those pedals, then you're not going to be recovering when you should be. So figure out right now, as you start to cool down, how to just find lightness in your legs. A simple thing to do. You just have to spin them. No muscles are working. Just getting a nice, easy spin. At this point, you should start also noticing your heart rate coming down. The sweating process should be stopping or slowing. And it's just a chance for the body to start to recover a little bit from the effort that you've put out. This is just as important as the warm-up that we've done. If you jumped off your bike after that last effort, you might be feeling the effects of it tomorrow. So whatever you do today is going to affect you tomorrow. So after today's workout, everybody should be getting a nice recovery, meaning if you want to do a recovery shake, that's the best way. Get yourself some protein into the body to recover those muscles. If you don't have any protein powder or you're not using a recovery source, a good, as I call it, the poor man's recovery drink is basically Greek yogurt, banana, almond milk, some spinach, chia seeds if you have them, coconut. If you want some nut butter in there, even an avocado gives you some good fat. That's the perfect recovery shake after a hard workout. But know that a shake is not a meal replacement. So you need to also be eating something with protein in it so that you can recover those muscles. So get used to, and I will do it, I will finish this workout, get a quick shower, and go have my shake. For the ladies in the room, we've got about 30 minutes after our workout to get our recovery shake in. That's the most beneficial time frame for us to get the most out of that recovery. You guys, you got about 2 hours. But if you use that same 30-minute window, it will also help you. So for next week, I want you guys to do some homework. I want you to try every day from now until next week to consume at least 3 bottles of water every day. So you should really be consuming half your body weight in ounces of water per day for it to function properly. But I want you to just start with 3. Then if you do that, I want you to tell me how differently you will feel next Tuesday when you come to the session. If you preload your body with proper hydration, it will have an effect on how you feel and how the body responds. All right. We got 1 more minute and the workout will be done. So when the workout's over, I normally, as I say, open up the phone lines, which means that if you have anything to say, you can unmute yourself. I used to be able to unmute everyone, and Zoom changed their ways of doing things. So you can unmute yourself and give us any comments, questions, whatever you might have. So just as a reminder, I will send a Monday email every Monday with the link so that you have it. The link is the same each week. So if you forget it or you don't have it, you can go back to an old email and you'll find it. If you have any friends or anybody that you know that wants to try this out, you're welcome to share the information with them. All right. First session done. Great job, everybody. Session number 1 in the books. I like it. Let me turn my computer off and see how everybody did. Woo! That was great. I know I got my sweat on. That's for sure. How's it going, everybody? Good. Nice. All right. It's good to see some new faces. It's good to see some old faces too. Not old, but you know what I mean. No offense by that.
Mara, I just want to thank you. I in 2018, fall of 2018, I did my first half iron, and the bike was a mess. So I knew the next time I was going to do one, which I was scheduled for the half iron in Maine this past summer. I knew I really needed to focus on the bike, and everything that you taught in all your trainer sessions was so hugely helpful. I finished the bike. Vast improvement, and felt great through the run and great through my finish. So thank you so much.
Oh, you are so welcome. It's so great to have those kind of comments come back. And I'm so happy that you were able to take everything and dial it in and make it work. So good for you. Congratulations.